Mason Rudolph is the starter for the Steelers this week, as was heavily requested by the fans on Thursday Night Football. Also, DeMonte Kazee has been suspended for the rest of the season. Minka Fitzpatrick is also out, so you guys, last I checked, have one active safety. So that'll be rough. But what do you think about Mason Rudolph starting, and what do you think about DeMonte Kazee being suspended the rest of the season after that controversial hit that took Michael Pittman Jr. out of the Colts game and single-handedly took me out of the fantasy playoffs?
Yeah. For record though, I was clearing my throat, had a lot of phlegm, made me sound like Venom. So, but I had to spit it somewhere. So I apologize for the grossness or the weird noises that the microphone might have picked up. But anyway, when it comes to KZ, I don't think he was trying to hurt the guy. I feel like I do feel like in a way Brady kind of made a point. I don't know if you read that. I'm sure you did. But like Tom Brady like tried to defend the situation by saying like they probably shouldn't have Minshew probably shouldn't have thrown that pass. Like I know what he was trying to do, but like it probably wasn't a good idea to throw it because it kind of would have led into something more dangerous for the receiver, and it did. And now, MPJ is, concussed. So, I mean, like I said, I don't think he was intending to hit him that hard. I couldn't really tell. It wasn't like he was attempting to do helmet to helmet. Like it looked like he was trying to lean with his shoulder, but like when plays like that like form so quickly, it's hard to like stop your full force. That's why there's a lot of penalties like on, roughing the punter or, roughing the kicker, roughing the passer. Like it's hard to like when you're running full force and then they like throw the ball or something like that, you're more than likely gonna, it's kind of hard to like stop that momentum. So I don't think he meant to do it. I don't think KZ as like a, as a person that watches the Steelers, I don't think he's ever shown like strokes of like a dirty player or anything like that. It just happened. So, I mean, I don't know. He's definitely, obviously, yeah, he's suspended for the rest of the season. It impacts us a lot just because now we have to figure out what to do with our safeties because Minka has been hurt and now KZ is suspended. So now we have to figure out what to do with, our safety room. But yeah, I mean, the KZ thing is kind of unfortunate, I guess. But I mean, you live and learn, I guess. We'll see what happens next season with KZ. But when it comes to Mason Rudolph, I think that was pretty interesting. I didn't actually think that he was going to ever get put in. I thought at the soonest he would be able to start maybe this game if Mitch did fold. And sure enough, Mitch did in fact fold. I mean, the whole entire team pretty much folded in a way. But, I mean, Mitchell Trubisky is just not the answer. And then I don't think it was a good idea to put in Mason Rudolph with 2 minutes left in the game to try to rally the team to win for 2 touchdowns. I feel like that was the stupidest thing ever. And I got kind of mad because it was almost like Tomlin was trying to set the dude up for failure because I'm like, why would you put him in when there was really no reason to? You're like almost like trying to embarrass the dude because the Colts are obviously going to try to finish the game. They're going to try to probably be blitzing. They're going to be trying to finish off, interceptions, fumbles, sacks. They're going to be doing all they can because they want to be done. They want to kneel it and they want to go home. So I don't know why that was a good idea to put him in. He should have started the fourth quarter or maybe even the third quarter and then just messed around a little bit. Not 2 minutes left in the game. I felt like that was really stupid. But obviously now, I obviously like Kenny Pickett was questionable going into this week. He is like confirmed out again, so he won't be playing. A lot of people were saying that even if Kenny was healthy, he probably would have been behind Mason Rudolph just not because he was getting benched, but because they wanted to rest Kenny Pickett for following week, which would have been Seattle. And
Mason Rudolph's better than Kenny Pickett is what you're saying?
Now. But I mean, if that happens, then I guess let it happen. But I mean, I love the guy. I love Mason Rudolph. I mean, I'm glad that he's getting his start. I think he's a very humble guy. I think that he shows a lot of passion for the team, and I really hope that he does well for us. I really hope that we get that Christmas miracle against you guys on Saturday. Rudolph the the third string quarterback, coming on Christmas. So, Christmas miracle.
I don't want you to get that. But we don't have Jamar Chase. We're not going to have DJ Reader in our already hurting run defense. Important. Do you worry for Mason Rudolph? Because we've seen this happen before. Almost this exact same scenario where the fans cheer for Mitch. And then they're like, Mitch sucks. We want Mason. And then Mason plays and they're like, Mason sucks. We want Mitch back, or we want Kenny, or we want this guy. How fast do you think that fans will turn on Mason if the Bengals start winning on Saturday?
I don't know if they will, because I feel like there's a consensus at a point where I don't think people are fans of Mitch. That's the problem. I think a lot of people don't realize this, but like, when it comes to the Steelers, like, obviously when Kenny wasn't doing great, he was still winning these games. It wasn't great wins, but we were still, doing what we could to win. They would say put in Mitch, but I think now that Mitch has finally played a couple of games, I think most of the fans are realizing that, Mitch is definitely not the option. And he never was. I mean, like, he's lost all of these, like, crucial games. Like, we lost to the Cardinals. We lost to the Patriots. We lost to the Colts. We lost to the Patriots last year in what was a very close game. Somehow he picked up like a couple miracle wins, but he also folded against Baltimore last year by throwing 3 interceptions. Like, dude does not have a good track record here. So why would we start him? If we actually started him at the beginning of the season, we'd probably be like not even still in playoff contention. We probably would have been eliminated by now, just because based on all of his win productions, we're like, they put you at like 3 and like 8, I swear. I mean, it's probably less than that, but it's a lot. It feels like 8. But I feel like, I don't know if they'll turn on him, Mason, because I feel like at this point, we don't have any other options. Because you throw Mitch back in, we're going to lose. You keep Mason in, even if he's not the best, at least it's something, This isn't like 2019 where we had like a Devlin Hodges, Mason Rudolph, where they did turn on Mason Rudolph, but it was because Hodges was actually doing really well, and they just put Rudolph back in just for the thrills, even though Hodges was hot. So, I mean, it doesn't pan out well for Mitch being in the Steelers right now, but that's just my opinion.
So Mason has the fan base behind him
currently, and I don't really see it being like, the only way I think it would cause issues is if like there was a player that was absolutely going to be better than him, because this week it's like, oh, Mason doesn't do well. Who are you going to put in? Mitch, the savior? No, because he's not going to save you. So, and it's not like you can put in Kenny Pickett because Kenny Pickett's hurt. And the only way that Trace McSorley will get his chance to start is if Mason and Mitch both go down. So, I mean, you ain't going to see Trace McSorley. That would be interesting. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Hey, that kid from Briarwood, he can throw it on a dime.
Yeah.
Like, he ain't even trying.
Interesting.
They should make a song about him.
Yeah, they should.
There should be a Trace McSorley song. I bet it would be a hit, especially on like TikTok. Okay, final thing about the Steelers, Stan. Before we go into that, Stan, did you have anything about Mason Rudolph or Mitch?
I mean, the Rudolph thing, I think that's a hit. I mean, right before Christmas playing Rudolph, it just makes sense. In regards to...
Yes.
In regards to Casey, I think this is one of the few times that I agree very heavily with Tom Brady, and one more of the many times I agree with Chus here. The Casey thing was definitely overblown. I don't think should have been suspended. When you look at the situation, as Chus mentioned, it happened so fast. And rewatch the video, pay attention to the entire play, and specifically what Pittman is doing, right? For Casey to predict the movement of Pittman that led to that collision is very tough. So I don't think it was on purpose, and I think for that reason, the full suspension was definitely overblown. If you wanted to, fine him, 100%, I'm down with that. But to suspend him for the season, it seems very much overblown.
Thanks for watching that video, guys. If you want to check out a most recent full episode of No Buts About It, that's going to be right over here. Yeah, right there. Check that out. And if you just want to see more short clips, we're going to have one right over here for you to watch. Check out No Buts About It on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts, so you can listen to us on the go. Once again, have a great day and go do something nice for someone.